So this webinar or meeting is towards my ambassadorship for IEP. That is Institute for Economics and Peace. And then the topic for it is the role of positive peace in ensuring food security in Nigeria. So as we proceed with the webinar as well, I'll be accepting other people that wants to join. Can you still see my screen, right? You can still see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so let me just proceed. I've accepted those are coming. So starting from what food security is, according to the topic, it's a goal of positive peace towards ensuring food security in Nigeria. So what is food security? Food security refers to the condition in which all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. So that is what food security is basically about. It promotes people of all nations, or in a particular nation, having access to quality food, safe food that will help with their life and to make them healthy. So, but then there are common threats to this food security. Can you see me, please? Please, you can unmute your mic and just let me know you are hearing me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. So the common threats to food security, the number one is climate change and extreme weather. So climate change in terms of like sunny day, having a sunny day, depleting the ozone layer, due to our carbon sequestration. That's the way we burn fossil fuel, like our generators, our cars. It causes depletion of the ozone layer, which in turn makes the sun effect to be direct on us. So it can even cause heat stroke, it can cause famine, it can cause soil losing their nutrients and all of that. And if there's no nutrient in soil, then there won't be production of food crops. So that is that about climate change. Also, the second one is conflict and displacement. This is basically the major threat that is making me to do this this webinar towards my ambassadorship for the IEP, which is conflict and displacement. And then you would agree with me that we have a lot of conflict and displacement in Nigeria, especially towards the northern part of Nigeria. We have people being displaced from their home. They are being they are trying to stay at refugees and all of that. So that is that about conflict. And also we have economics and crisis and inflation. When things are becoming expensive, when the economy is not favorable, the cost of food will become expensive. They won't be able to afford food and all of that. And then poor infrastructure or governance. When there's no poor governance or infrastructure. So that is it. Please, can you still hear me, please? Please, just let me know. Hello, can you still hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello, we can still hear you. We can hear you clearly.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fash. Thank you so much. Let me just accept some people very fast. Sorry for that. Okay. So okay, the next thing is I'm just trying to map the regions in Nigeria that produces food that we have. We have regional food system. We have the Northwest. The Northwest are known for production of grains like millet, sorghum, groundnut, cotton, tomatoes, and then the likes. And then they also do irrigated farming in like Kano, because they have dry season in Kano. And KB is the leading producer of rice in Nigeria. Also, we have Northeast, which consists of Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Bauchi, and Gobe. And then they also produce grains like millet, sorghum, and then the rest. Also, we have North Central, which is Benue, Niger, Plateau, and they also produce grains as well. And then we have Southwest, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, which produces like cocoa. Them, they produces like cash crop, cocoa, cassava, maize, oil palm, kola nuts, citrus, and the likes. And then Oyo and Ondo are the major producers of cocoa. So that is just like the, the regional food system of Nigeria. And then we have Southeast, which consists of Abia, Imo, Ebonyi, and Anambra. They also produce like yam, cassava, maize, and then the likes. And lastly, we have South. They also produce like cash crops like oil palm, cassava, rubber, plantain, and then the likes. So, my presentation is in the context of Nigeria, but then we have what we call global terrorism index. It is this terrorism and conflict that cause displacement of homes in Nigeria, that and those places that are producing what we eat in Nigeria, they are the ones that these conflicts are majorly being affected, especially this terrorism, those north like Kano, KB, and then the like. So they are the ones that are being majorly affected. But then let's briefly define what global terrorism is. Global terrorism is the systemic threat or use of violence by non-state actor. It's not the government, it's not the government that is doing it, but whether for or in opposition to the established authority, they are against the authority with the intent of communicating a political, religious, or ideological message to a group larger than their victim. They might be terrorizing Kano, North, and the rest, but then they are trying to relay a message to the whole Nigeria, to the whole world, not like it's because their effect is felt in that particular region, then it's just that region. It also affects every one of us. So by generating fear and also altering or tampering behavior of the larger group. And then this is a global terrorism chart. If you can see very low here that they wrote logarithm banding score, we will see Nigeria there. Nigeria is among one of the countries that are affected by terrorism. We have a very high score in terrorism index. So that about terrorism in the global aspect. So let's just briefly talk about the terrorists that we have in Nigeria, the terrorist group we have in Nigeria. Sorry, please, can we still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it. So I want to check if I have someone in the lobby. Okay, there's no one in the lobby. All right, let me just continue. All right, so the terrorist group that we have in Nigeria, we have the Boko Haram. They started in 20s, and if you can still remember the story of the Chibok girls, it was a very tremendous activity then. So we have Islamic State West African province, ISWAP. They were born out of Boko Haram. They segregated from Boko Haram, and they are also terrorist group. But then they are more structured than Boko Haram. We also have Ansaru. We have bandit group, and then unfortunately, Nigerian government is they still categorize Biafra as a terrorist group as well. So that about, I'm just trying to give us a brief about the terrorists that we have in Nigeria. Also, the least peaceful state in Nigeria, the number one on the list is Borno, Northeast, Zamfara, Northeast, Kaduna, Northwest, Yobe, Northeast, Katsina, and then the likes. So you can see it from this page. So those are the and these countries that we are seeing, they are the ones that produce those crops that people eat in Nigeria. Mostly, they are still the one. There's still an attack in Jos of recent. If you know about it, there's an attack in Jos. There have been an attack in Edo, in Niger Delta. So all these and those places are they are producers of crops in Nigeria. So when there is this attack, it prevents their production. It prevents them to export, to transport crops to other parts of Nigeria, or for them to make business. So this in turn causes, it causes food insecurity. People don't have what to eat, and in turn it will skyrocket prices of food and all of it. So we have global threat index. This one is just basically about it's still about climate change. It's about climate change. So, but then the United Nations is projecting that by 2050, the population of developing nations will be increased to like 1.3 billion, which in turn would still cause stress on, on the ecological biosystem or biodiversity. That is our soil, the soil that we use to produce, the soil that is not even fertile enough before. We still now have a lot of people, reproducing and all of that. We're having a lot of population. So they will have limited access to food. There's no how, because the land itself is not being improved for it to produce enough food. So, but then we're having a increase in population. So all of these I have mentioned are problems. They are problems that we are trying to solve under this Institute of Economics and Peace. So, and then we have what we call positive peace, which reflects from my topic for this discussion as the role of positive peace towards ensuring food security in Nigeria. So we have two types of peace. We have negative peace. Sorry, please, can we still hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ife. Thank you so much. So we have negative peace.
Hello, we are.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So we have negative peace. Negative peace is the absence of violence or fear of violence. That means when a state does not fear violence, they have never, like, in a long while, they've not recorded violence, they've not recorded conflict. That is what negative peace is about. But then positive peace is the attitude, is the institutions and structures that create and sustain a peaceful society. So this is the major, the core value of this presentation. We know that there is conflict, there is terrorism, there is displacement of people, and then we know there is food insecurity. But it is this positive peace that would help, in some way to correct this food insecurity. So positive peace provides the optimum environment for human potential to flourish, and then it is based on these eight subdivisions. The number one is a well-functioning government. If we have a well-functioning government, there won't be something like conflict or terrorism. So this terrorism that we are seeing in Nigeria is a factor of our government, is a factor of our governance. Also, we have equitable distribution of resources. If there are equitable distribution of resources, there won't be some groups coming up and saying they want to start fighting. For example, in Nigeria Delta that produces oil, there are always enough infrastructure to those people of the land, giving them food, providing infrastructure and resources to them. They won't have that cause to say they want to fight, because they know, okay, this oil is coming from our region, but then we are also benefiting from the money generated from this oil. So there won't be any cause for Niger Delta militants or anything. So when there are equitable distribution, although because it's also in their region, doesn't mean other part of Nigeria should not also benefit. So all these things have to be distributed equally. Free flow of information. When there's a free flow of information, there won't be conflicts. Like for example now, those North people, most of them are not having information. They don't have access to information. There are no people going to give them a grassroots education about the importance of peace. So there is no, there are some of them are not on social media to know, what people are saying about the effect of terrorism and conflict. So when there's a free flow of information, it will also help towards positive peace and then towards food security. Also, good relations with neighbors. Our neighbor like Niger, Ghana, Mali. So all these our neighboring countries, we need to also maintain good relationship with them, because if we don't maintain good relationship with them, for example, some terrorists that affect Nigeria, they are always at that borderline of us with other countries. So they always penetrate Nigeria through those borderlines. But then I think we have a good rapport with all those neighboring countries. They will also help us to support us in eradicating this terrorism. Also, another subdivision of this positive peace is high levels of human capitals. When we have people that are up to do, when we have people, they are well equipped with resources, probably to do business, or they are given jobs, they are given opportunities for investment and all of that. It would help, people will not be thinking of terrorism in order for them to gain, they should gain some peanuts from threatening Nigeria or holding us to ransom when they are high level of capital, because when you have something doing, you will not be involved in all those kind of acts. Also, we have acceptance of the rights of others. Yes, accepting the right of others. Some people might have the right to whatever they want to say. Probably people that are doing transgender, or people that have other religion, or people that have other ideology. When you accept people's ideology or their rights, there won't be cause for problem. There won't be cause for conflict. So also another subdivision is low levels of corruption. When we have low levels of corruption, I categorically remembered a news that some of those terrorist attacks in Nigeria are being sponsored by some national and international bodies. Is something that is very painful. But then, had it been there low levels of corruptions, for example, now we are seeing what is going on in Burkina Faso. The government there is trying to portray himself as someone that has no corruption, which is we are seeing the result. We are seeing the result that this man is working, because he is able to at least attack those that the terrorism in his country. Is able to attack them. Is able to attack them wholeheartedly. So low levels of corruption also helps. And also the last on the list is sound business environment. When we have a sound business environment, it would help, in promoting positive peace. There won't be conflict, there won't be terrorism in a particular nation or organization. So basically, this positive peace also can be applied to any organization or any project that we want to embark on. For example, if you want to create an organization now, if you take into consideration these eight aspect of positive peace, there won't be peace, there won't be problem in your organization, there won't be conflict. For example, equitable resources, probably you are giving people their rights, remuneration, salaries, and all of that, and your information is flowing accordingly. There's no hindrance in information. There are good relationships among everyone. There's high level of capitals, acceptance of human rights. There's no corruption, and then there is sound business, and probably the management is also doing the right thing. So there won't be cause for any problem or any conflict. So that is that about positive peace. And yeah, you can see this is a map from IEP, because I'm taking insights from IEP. So this is a map to show where Nigeria is. This is Nigeria. We have low level of positive peace. That means our structures are not functioning that much. Our government, free flow of information, high per capita high human capitals, and low levels of corruption. So it's not that good enough. And then lastly, high levels of positive peace leads to stronger resilience and adaptability, better environmental outcomes, high measures of well-being, better business environment, high per capita income, better performance on developmental goals. So when we apply this positive peace, it would help, to give a good result, and in turn giving food security in the nation. So last but not the least, this discussion or presentation is forwarded out of IEP, that is Institute of Economics and Peace. So it's because of the ambassadorship that I am taking on that prompts me to having this presentation. And if you want to join them, you can visit LinkedIn. They have free course on peace. This is just like an excerpt about what they do, right? I just do excerpt and then imputed my own in the context of Nigeria. But if you want to learn more about about the Institute of Economic and Peace, you can just go to their website or on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and you can take this ambassadorship program, or you can just go for their course. Their course is very elaborate. They talk about climate change, they talk about food security, they talk about positive peace, they talk about global index. Is a very large organization based in Australia. So thank you so much for on being on this presentation with me, guys. I really appreciate. So if you have any question you want to ask concerning this presentation that I make, please, or you have any suggestion or contribution, please, you can unmute your mic and say something. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate. Mr. Fash, are you still there, sir? Mr. Fash, Mr. Ife, KG, hello.
Yes, I'm very much with you, sir. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I don't have any contribution or question.
Okay, Mr. Fash, you can go ahead if you have anything to say, sir.
Actually, it's not like I have any question to say, but I think it's a good one if people are becoming more aware of how this load of our the agricultural return annually.
Okay.
If it
You are breaking, Mr. Fash. Mr. Fash.
The people just look for how to, because I believe before the board, I believe they should be interested in, and enough of us are stating the problem. Is this still breaking?
You can continue. I can hear you now.
Hello, I'm trying. Hello.
Hello.
I said it is a good problem already, but I think taking active role in solving the problem. So that would be what really matters. I mean, that's what I just have.
Yes, I understand you, sir. So, that means you are trying to say that we should have a grassroots organization or initiative that enforces this positive peace, probably in the aspect of free flow of information. That means going to the grassroots and talking to people about positive peace. Is that what you are saying, Mr. Fash? Hello?
Exactly.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Yeah, that's the importance of this presentation. So probably we would still talk behind the scene. Mr. Jerry, please, you can unmute your mic and
that's
say.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand you. Mr. Jerry. Mr. Ife, do you have anything to say, sir? Mr. Ife Dayo.
Hello.
Okay, hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I was engrossed in other stuff. So
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it's really a good presentation, and yeah, I think it's high time we start correlating the insecurity with food security.
Yes.
We cannot be food secure if we are insecure.
Yes, true.
So the bottom line is that the government, like you said in your presentation, needs to do better. It's all about commitment.
Yes.
We need peace.
Yes.
If there is no peace in the farm, there will not be peace in the market.
Yes.
That is no gainsaying about it. Nigeria used to be the largest producer of palm oil, peanuts, cassava, yam. We don't lack all these things. But where are we today on the global trend? Not because people are not willing to go to the farm to farm, no, but because people are scared to go.
True.
People are really scared. We have a lot of arable land. We joke about it when someone said that the size of Netherlands is the size of Niger. Netherlands is a country. That is just Niger State, a state in Nigeria. And Netherlands is the hub of agriculture in the world, especially the grocery crops. What are we doing as a country? We are talking about food is expensive. Food will be expensive if people are not going to the farm. We don't want to import and we don't want to produce. How is that possible? We need both positive and negative peace if we want to be realistic with ourselves. Negative peace in the sense that the insecurity we are facing today, they have to come down to their body and be known. If it is agitation, what do they want? Let the government, let the community leader comes into this thing. And if it is going outrightly to neutralize them, to have them settled, let's do that. We can't continue bewailing in insecurity and expect food to be secured. It's not possible.
Yes.
The other part of the world are fighting global and climate change, but we are fighting insecurity change. I will just leave it there. We can't be food secure if we are insecure.
Yeah,
thank you
so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ife, for your contribution. I really appreciate. Jerry, please, are you here with us, sir? Jerry. Okay, okay, I guess Mr. Jerry is not fully with us. So we've come to the end of this presentation. I really appreciate everyone that attended, and then this would also help towards my my ambassadorship application. I really appreciate. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. So yeah, we can exit the meeting now. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. And then let's not forget to join the organization IEP, Institute of Economics and Peace. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, bye. Some other time.